Hi guys, this is going to be the tutorial that's going to show you how to make this basket weave granny square. To do this basket weave granny square, it looks the best in multiple colors. As you can see, I used 4 different colors, and that I alternated to create this look. I have a whole blanket made with this, plus smaller granny squares. You can check out the link below. It'll have the link to this pattern, also the link to how to do the Afghan as well. So I have a tutorial to show you how to do this already, but it's not so good. I didn't have an HD camera at the time, so I wanted to go ahead and remake that. So I'm going to do that now. So I'm using worsted weight yarn, which is 4 ply for the US, 10 ply for Australia, and a 5mm hook, which is a size H hook for the US. So go ahead and grab that stuff and we'll get started. Okay, to begin this granny square, you want to chain 5, 4 and 5, and then you want to slip stitch in this beginning chain, the first chain that you did, and I'm going underneath both yarn. You know, there's 3. I'm going to go under 2 of them, leaving only 1 at the bottom. And I'm going to slip stitch, holding this ring so I don't lose it. Then you want to chain 2. Then you'll work 2 double crochets, and I like to work over my tail because you can use your tail to tighten if you need to later. So you want to work 2 double crochets in the circle. Your chain 3 or your chain 2, sorry, will count as well as your first stitch. So that's essentially like 3 double crochets. Then you'll chain 2 and you'll do 3 double crochets. And you're going to keep repeating this until you have 4 sections. So right now I'm making my second section with the chain 2 in the middle. So you chain 2, did 3 double crochets, you'll repeat that, chain 2, do 3 double crochets. This creates our third section. Then chain 2 again and do your last set of 3 double crochets. And this will make your 4th and final section. And then when you get to the end of your row here, you're going to chain 1, find the top of the chain 2, and then you're going to slip stitch into that top of the chain 2, which will create your second chain that you needed. Okay, for round 2, let me get a little closer. For round 2, you want to chain 1, and you'll pull up a little bit on your yarn a little. And this will not count as a stitch, this chain 1 in and pull up. You'll yarn over and you're going to go and pick up. You're going to be doing a front post double crochet, so you're going to pick up that first chain 2 and you'll do a front post double crochet onto it. And then you'll continue with the next 2 double crochets. You're going to be working a front post double crochet on those as well. And that brings us up to our corner. And by the way, we're going to be working in sets of 3. Every time we do a 3 front posts, or we'll be doing 3 back posts. So when you get to a corner, you want to work it as follows. But it's only going to be worked like this during this round only. It changes from here on out. So for round 2 only, you'll work your corners as 2 double crochets, then chain 1, and then 2 double crochets. And that will bring you back up now to your next 3 stitches. And we're going to be doing front post double crochets around all of the posts this row. So you'll be working 3 front post double crochets on the next set of 3 double crochets, and then you're going to work your corner exactly like you did back here by putting 2 double crochets, chain 1, and then 2 double crochets. And then the next set, these next 3, again, front post double crochet. So keep working that all the way around until you reach your beginning stitch. Okay, I'm just finishing my corner, my second double crochet here. When you get to the end of your row 2, you'll find the very first front post that you did and slip stitched in the row there. So for row 3, again, you're going to chain 1 and pull up. This does not count as a stitch. And now everywhere that we did a front post, sorry I ran out of yarn here, every place where we did a front post double crochet this row, we want to do a back post double crochet. And we want to work in sets of 3 whenever possible, but you will run out of stitches when you get towards the end of your corners, as you'll see as we keep going. And you may only get to work only 1 front post or 2 front posts. So you'll have to you know, judge, you know, every time you get to the end of the corner. So let me just show you. So for the first 3 front post double crochets, they will now become back posts. So we're going to work back post double crochets on these 3 front post double crochets. And also I do have a pattern for this with pictures. You can find that link below this video. Okay, so we have 3 back posts, and now here where I was talking about, we only have 2 stitches before you reach the corner, but we're going to be alternating. So we did 3 back posts, so now the next 2 are going to be front post. So work a front post on these 2 stitches before the corner. When you get to the corner, you have to do the corner, so that kind of cuts you short. So from now on, for this row and for all the other rows, you'll be working your corners like this. You'll put 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. That's how you'll work your corners from now on. And whatever you did before your corner, which I did 2 front post double crochets, you're going to repeat that on the other side of your corner. So since I did 2 front post double crochets before the corner, I'm going to do 2 front post double crochets after the corner. And then the next 3, which are 3 front posts, will now be 3 back posts for this row. And then we're going to repeat exactly what we did before on our corner. There's only 2 stitches here before the corner. We just did back post, so now we're going to do front post. But we only have 2 stitches, so we'll do those 2 stitches. Bring ourselves up to our corner here, where we'll put 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. And then you'll be repeating what you did before the corner, which was 2 front post double crochets. So we'll do it here after the corner as well. And then our next, we did 3 front posts last row, so again we're going to do 3 back posts this row. Which brings us up to our 2 stitches again before the corner. So I'll do front post, work the corner as a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then I'll repeat by doing 2 front posts, and then continue to work my row as I've been doing. So I'm just finishing up row 3 here. I'm on the other side of my corner doing my 2 front posts here, which are my last 2 stitches of the row. So now I'm going to find my very first stitch of the row, and again you'll slip stitch into that very first stitch of the row, and that will end row 2. I'm sorry, that will end row 3. Okay, for row 4, again you're going to always start the same by chaining 1, pulling up a little bit, yarning over. This previous row here we did 3 back posts, so we're going to be doing 3 front posts this row. Remember, you're going to be trying to stay in sets of 3 whenever possible. So I just did my first set of 3 front posts. Now, last time we did two front posts here on the very end before our corner, but because we did our corner, we now have an extra stitch here before the corner. So now we have our set of 3, which is great. We're going to be doing, instead of front post, we did front post last row, so this row we're going to be doing back post. So we'll be working a back post on each of these 2 front posts from last row, and now we're going to be incorporating the double crochet that we created when we did our corner, and we're going to do a back post on that as well, making our next set of 3. So now we're on the corner again, and again you're going to work the corners the same. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And then again the next 3 will be back posts, because that's what we did on the row before our corner. Always need to repeat what's on the other side. So we did 3 back posts, so now the next 3 will be front post. And you're just going to repeat that all the way around. We just did 3 front posts, so now the next 3 will be back posts. Then you'll do your corner, you'll do 3 back posts, then you'll do 3 front posts. You're going to continue that all the way around till you reach the beginning again. Okay, I'm just finishing my last back post double crochet, which ends row 4, and then again find your set of 3 front post here. You're going to find that first stitch, which is your first stitch of the row, to slip stitch into, and that will end row 4. Okay, for row 5 again you're going to be chaining 1, pulling up, and since these 3 are front post, we're going to start by doing our 3 back post on the 3 front post. So whatever you did on the previous row, you'll do the opposite on the next row. These 3 are back posts, so this row they will be front post. And now we've come up to our extra double crochet right before our corner. We've already completed this set of 3, so we're going to start our next set of 3 here on this first double crochet here. So we just did 3 front posts, so this next double crochet will be a back post, which brings us up to our corner. So you'll work your corner the same. It'll be a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, then repeat exactly what you did before the row, which was we turned this double crochet into a back post double crochet, so we're going to do that. And then our next 3 stitches will be front post. Then you're going to continue to repeat what you've been doing this whole time. Your front post will become back post, your back post will become front post. And as you can see on our corner, when we come up to our corner on row 6, you'll see we'll have a back post here, and then we'll have a double crochet before our corner. So we'll want to make this back post a front post next row, and then we'll just incorporate the next double crochet, so we'll have 2 front posts before the row. And it isn't until your next row that you'll have again 3, and then you'll stop there again with the 3, and then next row you'll start your corner, then you'll have an extra one again like we just had. We'll have only a single, so we only worked a single back post because that was the rest of the stitches that we had before the end. You'll try to stay in sets of 3, but when it's not possible, you still need to follow the pattern up until you reach your corner, and your corners will always be worked exactly the same, doing 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. And I recommend that you get this pattern down really well. Here I am again at the corner. I just did my 3 front posts. So I'm going to make this double crochet a back post, and then do my corner. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, then this single double crochet will become a back post double crochet, just like the previous one of the corner. So anyway, what I was saying is that I recommend that you go ahead and you learn the pattern really well, you know, make a solid color like I am right now, granny square, until you've learned the color, until you've learned the pattern really well. Then once you do, you can start changing row, you know, changing colors every row or every other row, because you're going to have a lot of, you know, you're going to have a lot of tails to mess with, which kind of sucks, but when you see the result, it's definitely worth it. But just know you're going to have a lot of tails that are going to need to be worked in. So maybe you don't want to change every row, maybe you want to change every other row. My blanket that I told you about that I have a pattern for, I did this whole beginning large square in the center, and it was done with variegated yarn, but it was done with variegated yarn that didn't change colors that often, so it had a kind of an interesting look to it. You'll have to see the pictures of it. Anyway, so that's the basket weave granny square. You just keep on working it the same way, and if you have difficulty, just you can check out the pattern as well. It shows you pictures and stuff, and just keep going with the pattern. So you're always going to be adding an extra double crochet every row, because every corner is double crochet, chain one, double crochet. So you're going to be adding one double crochet on each side every row, and just incorporate it until you have a set of 3 of something. So some rows you'll only have 1, like we did last row. Next time we'll have 2, and then the next one will have 3, and then after that you'll start your next set all over again. So just give it a shot, keep practicing, then you can make a bigger one, make a blanket. It's really awesome, it looks really nice, and oh my god, it makes such a warm piece of material. So I hope you liked this tutorial. If you did, please don't forget to like and share this video. It helps me out so much. Also, if you're wondering what hook I used a wooden furls hook. You can find the link underneath this description of this video, as well as I have I recommend that you order it with an extended handle hook. That's what they call it, extended hook. If not, then you're only going to get like half the size, and it's going to be hard to work with. So I also have a Facebook group called Crochet for the Masses. You can find the link down below this video as well. You can go there. It's a great bunch of people there. You can ask questions. You can share pictures of the crochet stuff that you have, share free links to patterns, and you can find the link underneath and click it, and you can you ask to be in the group, and you'll be in it within an hour most of the time. So that's it, guys. Thank you so very much for watching.